Hi, everybody, and welcome to the post-race press conference from round number 12 of Monster Energy Supercross from right here at Rice-Eccles Stadium. I'm Daniel Blair. I want to welcome in the media who will be partaking in this post-race press conference, and of course the riders who had a lot of success on Wednesday, finishing on the podium. We'll start with the 250 division, finishing in third, riding for Geico Honda, Jeremy Martin. Finishing in second, riding for Monster Energy Star Racing Yamaha, Colt Nichols. And your winner, riding for Monster Energy Star Racing Yamaha, Shane McElrath. Congratulations, guys. In the 450 division, finishing in third, riding for Rockstar Husqvarna Factory Racing, Zach Osborne. Finishing in second, riding for Monster Energy Kawasaki, Eli Tomac. And your winner, riding for Red Bull KTM, Cooper Webb. Congratulations. We'll start with the 250, guys. This is a question for all three of you. Sunday was a day race. We know it was hot. The conditions were tough. It seemed like, at least from the outside looking in, that things were a lot better, a little bit cooler, a little bit more technical track, more moisture in the soil. How was it for you? How were the big differences? And then just kind of go through your night. Jeremy Martin, we'll start with you.
Yeah, so third overall on the night, but definitely the track was a lot more technical. The first go on back from the COVID-19 was it was definitely more simple, but it got pretty rough and it was really hard packed, so it got pretty technical. But this weekend, man, the whoops were tough, and I was pretty glad they kind of tamed down the first four and helped make my life a little bit easier.
Cool.
Yeah, man, it was fun. It was definitely a lot better for me this weekend. The track conditions were a little better and a little more technical, and overall held a lot better moisture with it just being a night race, and so that was really nice. And overall, man, I had a lot of fun and felt good to be back up on the box.
And Shane.
Yeah, it was honestly pretty crazy how different the track was. It really all day during practice, my bike setup was still like the same as it was on Sunday, and it was fine. But then once we got to the night show and there was that moisture there, that's when we kind of had to make a few changes. But the team did great. I felt great out there, and it was like Jeremy said, it was a technical track, and it was not easy on a 250, but it was physical, and it was a fun race.
Well, congratulations, guys. 450 division, I'll start with you, Zach. Since we've been in Salt Lake City, it looks like you've been finding your groove. Even Sunday's race wasn't a podium ride, but it was a solid ride. You charged the whole way through. This one, obviously, getting out front made a huge difference for you. Just kind of take us through that main event, the early laps, what it felt like to be up front again. I know it's been a while. And then just battling late for a win here at round 12.
Yeah, I feel really good about our little trip here to Salt Lake so far. It's been successful for me for the most part. Like you said on the broadcast, the leading the whole race that ate me up a little bit at the end, but it is what it is. I'll take it third and keep building this momentum that I have from Sunday. Sunday I didn't get on the podium like you said, but it was also another good ride for me. So just building some momentum. I feel really good with my bike at the moment. Probably the best I've ever felt on hard packer and just kind of these sort of conditions. And I think we're just kind of building some speed.
Eli, didn't get the win at this one, but from a points perspective, it was a big win. Opened up that points lead into double digits now. Do you leave the race going, I would have liked to have won, or are you looking big picture a little bit now as we're getting closer to the end and look at the points and go, hey, this was a big win for me?
Positive that way with the points. Yeah, I mean, I would have liked to win, but second was okay on the night. Just the way things were going, I wasn't, didn't get the starts that I got on Sunday. And yeah, that was it basically, right? Like too many good guys in front of me early on in the main event to really catch the lead group. So that was it for me. But overall, yeah, satisfied with the way the points fell.
Cooper, congratulations on the win. Late in that race, I can't help but think about you and Zach and just, I'm assuming the hours you guys have ridden together and battled together at the practice track. And, was there somewhat of a comfort in that, knowing that you were going up with someone that you somewhat know, you know their riding tendencies, racing tendencies? Because you guys, you look like late there, it was a one-on-one kind of thing. And was that somewhat of a comfort for you, just knowing that it was Zach and maybe not being either Eli or Kenny, but it was someone that you ride with and train with?
Yeah, it felt like another day in Florida, but just on race day. So, it was good. He had a great pace going, and I kind of knew that the whole main event that, he was going to lay it all out there. So I felt like our pace was really good, and, he was riding well. And late in the race, I saw Eli was definitely kind of inching closer and closer, and I knew I needed to maybe make it happen. So I was able to, make the pass late, and I tried to kind of break away, but Eli got around him and really put the hammer down. So overall, it was a great race for me. I mean, to get my first win here in Salt Lake was great. And so far it's been 2 good days of racing. So looking to keep the ball rolling. But yeah, it's awesome whenever you can get a win, that's for sure.
Well, congratulations. I'll open up to the media now. We're going to start with Jason Wygant.
Yeah, thanks. Jason Wygant from Racer X. Cooper, I'll start with you. What was your routine between the races? And people are wondering about the altitude and the short break. Anything you did differently, and did you feel differently racing on a Wednesday?
I quite enjoyed it, honestly. I mean, it was kind of strange, I didn't ride dirt bikes or anything. Just I went and played golf and did a little bit of cardio and stuff. So I actually enjoyed it, just being able to kind of show up on race day from a previous race day, and it's kind of cool. And didn't really feel like a Wednesday. I mean, to me, it felt like a normal race day. But now looking today like it's Thursday, it does feel a little weird. But yeah, I think it was overall a different kind of program than what we're used to. We're used to a lot of days in between, but I quite enjoyed the quick turnaround, and yeah, it was nice.
Same for you, Zach. Did the elevation or the time in between feel weird at all, or was it pretty good?
No, for me, I actually felt really good. I wish we raced more and practiced less like this more often in normal times, and maybe this whole thing can spark something like that in the future. I don't know about other people, but I feel like, for us as racers, a lot of the hours and the hard stuff that's done in the week, it all doesn't always show on the weekends. Whereas like with this schedule, you don't ride as much, and there's just more racing, and you can, I don't know, it just seems like a better way to me. So for sure, it's benefited me a little bit right now, because I typically recover pretty quick, and we normally ride on Mondays and Tuesdays, and I'm typically a little bit off on Monday and better on Tuesday, and being that we raced on a Sunday, and then we had Monday and Tuesday, so Wednesday was my normal Tuesday, so I feel pretty good about it. And this week I'm gonna ride a little bit tomorrow to just keep things headed in the right direction, and I look forward to Sunday.
And then same for you, Eli. Did you ride between races, or will you ride between this with a little longer break between here and Sunday?
Last week we didn't. I mean, between Sunday and Wednesday, no riding. And tomorrow, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I'm still actually waiting on that. So either way, I like this right now. It's nice not having to get on the airplane and fly between. It feels like we can maintain this. So yeah, the Sunday Wednesday thing's cool.
Michael Antonovich.
This one's for Jeremy Martin. Jeremy, I'm only asking this because we're on a Zoom call right now. Were you just at the airport? Are you going to take a break away from Salt Lake City during this time off between today and Sunday, or were you just picking somebody up?
Just picking someone up here at the airport.
Okay, cool. Because I was like, oh, that's been the big thing that all of us have wondered, especially for you training in Colorado. Will you guys leave or stay, or what will that happen? So good to know there. For you, this has been a big comeback. I mean, this is your first season in Supercross after quite a layoff, and you clearly won a lot when you're out there. So to get a podium and, second race after this break, how do you feel coming into this, and especially with the motorcycle right now?
I definitely felt a lot better after last night's performance. Sunday, I pumped up after lap 3 into the main event, and I was just in survival mode. I haven't rode very much Supercross. I've been pretty focused on the whole outdoor stuff and kind of getting ready for that, and just trying to build my body back up. I mean, that was year and a half before I swung my leg over a motorcycle, and I had 3 separate surgeries on my back. So I completely lost like everything that I had, and I'm just really, I obviously I want to win and I want to be in the championship hunt. But this year, in the big picture of things, it's a rebuilding year for me. So you know, I've gotten 3 podiums so far this year, and just trying to keep building.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Tyler Tate.
Cooper, my biggest question for you after the win last night is, do you feel like the layoff due to COVID was probably the best thing that ever could have happened for you after Dallas?
I mean, it was definitely a help. You know, at that time was struggling with the body, but yeah, I mean, it was a good help. And I think the biggest thing was just to be able to kind of have that break to look back and realize what maybe I was doing wrong or what we need to be better at and stuff like that. So, I mean, yeah, it was definitely a help there. But at the same time, you know, I really enjoyed those East Coast style races with the soft dirt and the ruts. So, you know, it's definitely been quite opposite that I hear so far, but I'm pretty stoked with how I've been able to adapt on this hard pack stuff for sure.
Shane, it seems like you're having a lot of success with Salt Lake. I mean, you know, three in a row for you out here. What do you attribute that success to, besides just, you know, training?
Honestly, I'm not really sure. It's just I just want to take it one race at a time, and thankfully, the last 2 have been here at the same place. So it's cool to go back to back, but we're really just focused on one race at a time, and that was something that I was really working on coming into the season back in February when we first started. But now since we had the break, I was able to refocus and even focus more on that, and it's working a lot better this time. I feel like we're doing a lot better at showing up to the races and doing our job and doing what we need to do, and taking it really one track session at a time. So that's what we're gonna work on we're gonna work on doing the same every time we go out there.
Eli, last for you before I'm out for this. Sunday it shows rain and 50. It's a big difference between sunny, dusty, and 80s plus out here. How are you preparing for that, especially when you need to protect what you've built?
Well, it's just that's such a, you know, the weather can be one way or the other, right? I mean, yeah, it looks like we're gonna get moisture, but you just don't know. So I don't know. It's like I'm trying to protect a little bit, right? But at the same time, there's still 5 races, so there's still a lot left on the table, and I'm just trying to stay level-headed.
Dan Lamb.
Yeah, for Eli, even earlier this year and in past, you've had issues when you've been in bad positions early in the race, but lately you've seemed a lot more patient and a lot more kind of methodical in the beginning on finding the pace. You've even been passed in both these races by Cooper and Kenny in the last one, and you've come back to get to the front. Is that something you've been working on to try to close this first title out?
Not specifically. You know, I feel like, I don't know, it's just maybe I've done X amount of races and have X amount of time, you know, racing now, that you just get more comfortable, or you know what to do in these certain situations. So I feel like it's just an experience thing.
All right, and for Zach, you Huskies were really fast this, I guess, Wednesday. I was going to say Saturday. From the jump, I mean, 1, 2, 3 in free practice. I think 1, 2, 4 in the first qualifying practice. Did you guys find something early this week, or were you guys working together on it? Because you guys had a lot of speed right out of the gate.
No, definitely not. The vibes were high and the mood was light. That's about all I can say about that. I mean, it wasn't like we were going testing or anything like that. So, yeah, we're just 3 dudes having fun at the moment. That's all I can say. It's just was one of those days. If only we had a camera in our lounge, it would be a reality TV show.
And staying with you, Zach, you weren't doing the triple on in the main, and that was costing you a little bit of time. Was that something? I mean, I saw you battling with Tomac there earlier, and actually doing well doing the double single there. Was that in the back of your mind? Why didn't you pull the trigger in the main?
I kind of set my mind before the main that I was going to jump the whoops, and also I was going to go double single, because at the end of the heat race, I actually felt like I was making some time going double single or double table single, and but I think in the main where they redid the berm and they redid the face, you didn't have to seat bounce as hard to get on, so it allowed a little bit more drive, and yeah, I mean, after I watched the race, it was quite obvious that occasionally it was a little bit faster. But, you know, I didn't have eyes in the back of my head, and it wasn't on the pit board, so I wasn't too concerned about it. I mean, it was maybe a tenth or two here and there, but there were times also where it was still good to go double table single. So it was just one of those kind of pre-decisions that I had kind of made, and I didn't really feel like it was something that I had to do, so I just was doing the double table single. But like I said, after watching it back, I probably should have been doing it.
Cool, thanks.
Chris Cooksey.
So, Chris Cooksey Media, Zach and Cooper, altitude has kind of been the theme of this race, and a lot of guys are really struggling. We expected Eli to be good. He lives at a high altitude. What did you guys do, and has either of you got like a therapeutic exempt for oxygen or anything?
I didn't do anything. No. It's just, oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Zachary.
I didn't do anything. Altitude's something that I've never really had an issue with. It doesn't really affect me. I spent a summer in Colorado at altitude, and it's just, yeah, I mean, I don't really have any issues with it. I have a history of chronic bronchitis and asthma, but it just really doesn't bother me. So, yeah, nothing really changed on my end, just the normal training.
Yeah, I'm not educated enough on altitude, and I haven't really changed anything I've been doing. We were in Florida, you know, doing a lot of laps. It was super hot, and seemed like me and Zach were really pushing each other hard to kind of just duplicate that race day vibe. So, I mean, yeah, I just been doing my normal thing, training like normal, and I mean, you definitely notice it, but I think it's something that you just kind of push through and know that it's gonna affect you a little bit.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Whatever you're doing, keep it up. It's working.
Alex Gobert.
Alex Gobert, Moto Online. Hey, Cooper, what was it like for you going back to the same stadium, but this time at night and then a different track layout? How much different was it for you?
I don't know. It was definitely quite a change in schedules, you know, from being early to latest one I've ever raced. So, you know, it was definitely different than what we're used to, like we've all said multiple times, but it was cool. I mean, it felt comfortable, you know, pitch, you know, how everything went. It seemed like this time around, I felt like with the mechanics and the routine was a bit more easy, just because everyone kind of knew what to expect. And, you know, the track was more moisture this time, you know, definitely a more technical layout and stuff like that. But I thought it was cool. I mean, I was stoked that they changed the track, you know, obviously entirely, but it was quite a bit different entirely from last Sunday. And they were able to do that in 2 days, which was pretty impressive. So I thought they might, you know, maybe leave the same layout or, you know, just change a few sections here and there, but it was cool that they did a full-on rebuild.
Jose Marino.
Hi, gentlemen. Good afternoon from Seattle. Obviously, we missed you guys here, which is one of the reasons that leads to my question. And that is, what's been the reaction from your sponsors, and what are they doing to help you guys bridge those financial gaps that your teams may be seeing now due to the fact that you guys are missing out on a lot of merchandise sales, on a lot of the travel pieces when you guys come to places like Quest Field or CenturyLink Field, which has a massive amount of people that attend?
Who's it for?
It's open to the floor.
I think the biggest thing is just the people. You know, there's no people in the stands, but I would think that there's more viewers on TV, so it really hasn't affected us that much in the short term. I don't know what the long term looks like, or as far as the business side of things go, very much. But to this point, it really hasn't affected us a ton.
Anybody else wants to take a crack at it?
I mean, I would.
Oh,
Go ahead, Coop.
Sure. I mean, it definitely is unique. I mean, it's cool when we go to different stadiums and you kind of get to see the different fans and the different styles of the city and stuff like that. And I mean, yeah, we're in our sport merchandise. We kind of are held by the gonads a little bit. So not much we can do there. But, you know, it definitely stinks not going to all these multiple venues. But at the same time, it's just be ready and get back to normality and hopefully get some new fans going and get the pay schedule back on.
But yeah, I mean, it's as kind of Zach said, like the short term, it's more so, I guess, put things on pause as far as like business side in terms of like pay. But now that we're back to racing, I'm not sure that I haven't heard of anybody that hasn't got their pay cut, but I know for our team, the sponsors have said that they are going to back pay us, but that's all we have right now. So it's like, yeah, we're back to work, we're back to racing, but not everything is caught up, and we're not really sure when that could be.
And would it be fair to say that then this has given you guys an opportunity to refocus on the joy of riding and not necessarily worry so much about the financial aspect of it?
I mean, for me, I would say it has been fun, mainly because it's been completely different than anything we've ever done. It's like you have that unknown aspect of, well, we don't know how it's going to go, but now we've had 2 race days back to back with no riding in between. And I mean, our race days, kind of like what Zach said, he wishes we raced more and practiced less. And it actually put the fun into the racing the last 2 rounds, because that's our only bike time. So I would say yes and no, but I mean, we're just like any other business, each of us are. So it's like, if we don't get paid, we can't do business. And so that's there's got to be a line somewhere. But as so far, it's been okay and manageable.
Stefan Legrand.
Yeah, this is a question for Eli. The fact that there's no fans in the pits, there's no interaction, no autograph signing and everything, is it easier for you to focus just only on racing?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, you know, you lose that general, that vibe, especially the night show vibe. It's more calm. And you know, that's really it, right? Is it feels like it's just more mellow. You know, I mean, that's been the case for myself. You know, it's just, I would say round 1 was really just weird. And then round 2, I felt like it was more of just a mellow vibe. But, yeah, that's what I think about it.
I have last question for the 250 guys. After Sunday, are you guys sticking around Salt Lake City, or you go back to your house, or where you from? What are you going to do?
Our team is staying here. It's really not worth it to go back to SoCal. And if we were to leave, we'd have to get retested. At least that's kind of what the latest is. So really, we're just hanging out here, and we'll actually get to do some normal training because we have such a break. But yeah, we're here hanging out and here to root on our teammates.
Jason Wygant.
Yeah, for me, I'll probably go.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jeremy. Sorry. Sorry.
Oh, I was
Jason.
just gonna say, he kind of opened up yeah. So I'll probably go.
Hey, Jeremy, we're losing you there. Jason Wygant.
Sorry, for Shane and for Colt, these Yamahas have been fast for many, many years now. And then, Shane, you've won 2 in a row, and then you went 1-2 at this race. Do you feel you might have an even bigger advantage in the elevation where obviously every bike's a little slower, and that's a big factor in the 250 class? Do you feel you have an advantage potentially on your bikes, Shane and Colt?
I mean, I would say, yeah. Just like you said, the Yamahas have been good, and having to race against the Yamahas in the past, I mean, that's the bike. Like, you don't want to line up beside them on the gate. You don't want to be around them on the track, and they're arguably the best bike in the class. And now after riding one, I would say that that's true. But I mean, I think that it's a result of the team wanting to win, wanting to be the best, and they take advantage of every opportunity that they have to make the bike better, and they don't settle at that. So yeah, I think we're at an advantage, but I think it's more so the team than just anything else. I mean, they put everything that they can into the bike, and it shows.
Yeah, I would definitely have to agree. I messed up the start pretty heavily last Sunday, and once I hit second and third gear, kind of took off. It kind of saved me for sure. So it got me out of some trouble on the start a few times. And yeah, I would just have to agree with Shane. I've been on this team for 4 years now, and the bike's just incredible. But it's just a real kudos to the team because they do their homework and never complacent with anything. And we keep kind of pushing the boundaries and making sure we're getting all we can out of the bike, whether it be suspension, motor, or whatever. And they've done a hell of a job. Thing's awesome. And I'm looking forward to racing again on Sunday and seeing what we can do.
Dan Lamb.
Yeah, this is for Cooper. Cooper, one of the most underrated parts of your game, I think, is your ability to chess match that you and someone else are similar speeds, last 5 laps, you have the lead, and you tend to always come out on top in those. And I can't remember the last time you got passed late in a race when you're battling for a position. Was your pass on Zacho with, I think, 3 minutes left, was that part of the chess match you saw Eli coming, or was it just an opportunity thing?
I think a little bit of both. I mean, I saw Eli coming, and I knew that I needed to make a move to try to, avoid him catching me. So I felt like our pace was really good, but like I said, I could tell Eli was catching us a little bit, and knew that he was going to be strong down the stretch. So I felt like I needed to get going, and I tried a little earlier, actually, maybe a few laps before that, and then Zach really stepped it up for those laps, and then like I said, he kind of made that mistake in the whoops that gave me my opportunity. But it's racing is, especially I feel like with our long main events, it is a bit of a chess match because it is a long main. So it's one of those things where you, depending on what position you're in, you have to take what you got and go with it. So like I said, I was pretty obviously stoked with how I rode and the way I handled the race. And like I said, I mean, I knew Eli was really riding strong, so I had to hold it down and make it happen.
Is that something you've always been good at, that figuring out your situation, keeping people behind, closing the races? Is that something you can even work on?
I'm not sure. I mean, the goal is always to obviously be out front, and that's what I try to do. But sometimes it's, I don't know. It's something that I enjoy doing, is just kind of riding back there and just checking everything out, I guess, and seeing, like I said, I knew the pace was strong enough to last that time, and I didn't want to, get into like a cat and mouse game where we pass each other back and forth. I'd rather just, ride the wheel for however long I needed to. And then, like I said, be able to kind of make that adjustment on the fly or whatever.
Thanks, Coop.
Final question, Michael Antonovich.
This one will be for Colt. Colt, you had this long layoff. You missed the first part of the season with a shoulder injury. It had been a while since you had raced a Supercross into this year. So to come back, Sunday was a great showing, even though you did have that crash. Yesterday, second place, and then even pushing Shane in those last few laps. How does it feel right now for you? It seems like you've wasted no time getting right back into things.
Yeah, I've definitely tried not to. I mean, I don't want to make a habit of trying to come back from things. I'm pretty overdoing that, to be honest with you. But it was more just doing the laps back at home, and I felt really prepared, and I'd really done a lot. I felt like I was riding really well, and I got to work on some form and technique quite a bit whenever I was coming back from injury, and I honestly think that's helped me a lot now, get back up to speed a little quicker. But overall, it was good. I had a good showing Sunday. Like you said, I crashed, but I felt like I was riding good. Like I felt good on the bike. And that's probably one of the main things for us as racers is just feeling good on the bike, regardless of what the time looks like or anything like that. So yeah, I mean, it's, the shoulder feels good and I actually feel healthy. I feel strong. We got to work on a few things body wise while I was hurt as well. And, try to make the comeback a little easier and the transition a little easier to go into racing. And I feel like we've done just that. And it's been really good though, adding Shane to the team this year. He's brought a different kind of element of, bike setup and training and, just different. It's nice to have some new faces and new people around to kind of push you a little bit here and there when it's needed. And I think it's been really good for me and even for Justin Cooper as well. And we've got it going on at the moment. It's been good just to have some good training partners and everything to just keep it pushing. So I've been happy. I feel good with where I am, and hopefully I can win one of these things before it's all said and done.
Well, thank you guys for coming on today. Again, congratulations on your podium ride. We'll see you Sunday, and bring a raincoat just in case. We'll see you then.
Thank you.
Take care, guys.